Hello. Today's topic is chemical reaction of phenol. Like alcohols, phenols take like alcohols, phenol also take place as the some chemical reaction due to the presence of the OH group, and the but phenol act as a weak nucleophile. And we know the lone pair on oxygen atom, which donate towards the carbocation and to act as a Lewis acid. Phenol act as a Lewis acid. On the basis of the chemical behavior of the phenols, the chemical reaction of phenols are classified by the following ways: reaction of phenolic ways, first reactions, reaction of benzene ring of phenol, and the some specific reaction of phenols. On to the next slide. Reaction of we first move on the reaction of benzene ring of phenols. There are some several reaction of benzene ring of phenols is Kolbe-Schmitt reaction, which is very important, and its application, but is also very important. The Kolbe-Schmitt reaction from the salicylic acid. We know the salicylic acid, and the Riemann-Tiemann, one of the most important reaction is Riemann-Tiemann reaction for salicylaldehyde. And the Getterman reaction also important, the Lederman reaction, and the reaction with the phthalic anhydride. Then we move down. The general reaction is if every ring, every benzene ring by arranged rings reacts some specific reaction like a halogenation, nitration, Friedel cup, alkylation, acylations, and the coupling reaction also. When the phenol reacts with diazinon salt is called the coupling reaction. And the from the apart from these several reaction, we introduce here Kolbe-Schmitt reaction and its application. At first, we move down. The most important reaction is Kolbe-Schmitt reaction. Kolbe and Schmitt reaction. Kolbe-Schmitt reaction. When when carbon dioxide when carbon dioxide gas pass through a gas pass through a sodium phenate at here the pressure is important, 4 to 7 atm, and temperature at in between 120 degrees centigrade to 140 degrees centigrade temperature. This is very important. Sodium salt of salicylic acid, orthohydroxysodium, is produced to produce salt of salicylic acid. Salicylic acid. And after acidification or after hydrolysis, we get the salicylic acid from from uh, from phenol. When the general reaction is phenol, when we when reacts with sodium hydroxide to form sodium phenoxide. This name phenol, sodium phenoxide, sodium phenoxide. When sodium phenoxide is reacts with carbon dioxide at 120 degree to 140 degree centigrade temperature and 4 to 7 atm pressure, then we get sodium salicylate. Which is sodium salicylate? This one called sodium salicylate. The trade name sodium salicylate. When sodium salicylate is acidified with dilute HCl or dilute H2SO4 or other acid, then we get the salicylic acid, which is white in color. Salicylic acid. And we move down the mechanism of this. When here we move down the mechanism of this reaction. As mechanism of this reaction. When sodium phenoxide is react with carbon dioxide linear structure at 120 to 140 degree centigrade temperature and 4 to 7 atm pressure. As sodium phenoxide is ortho and para detecting group, a attack with carbon and to form this, and we get the product. আস্তে আমি ক্লাস করাচ্ছি ও and we get the this one. This one we get. And therefore it is called sigma complex. We get the product. And then acidified we get the product. And the facts about the Kolbe-Schmitt reaction. Here facts act one number here. COH group is directly added by the by this reaction. Two number points. Here we see COH group is directly attacked with at ortho position in phenol, and in phenoxyethanol is used instead of phenol because in electrophilic reaction here phenoxide is used is used instead of phenol. Phenol because this is due to fact that in electrolytic reaction electrophilic reaction there is highly electrophile carbon dioxide to produce corresponding carbon dioxide is produce corresponding ortho product. Huh? Here with the here carbon dioxide act as a electrophile, and here sodium phenoxide is used instead of phenol. This is due to fact that the electrophilic reaction of this highly electrophilic phenol is instead of phenol is why in electrophilic reaction there is highly reactive phenolic ring easily attack the weak electrophile. That the phenoxide is more reactive. Phenoxide is more reactive than phenol. That is why we used phenoxide ion in Kolbe-Schmitt reaction instead of phenol. Clear? And when this fact is important, when same reaction is same reaction is carried out when same reaction is carried out with potassium phenate, potassium phenate instead of sodium phenate. When we potassium phenate is used instead of sodium phenate, then then para hydroxy in PbCl when sodium hydroxide or sodium phenate is used, then the orthohydroxide benzoic acid is produced or salicylic acid produced. When same reaction is carried out with potassium phenate instead of sodium phenate, then the para hydroxy benzoic acid from para hydroxy benzoic acid is formed. Acid is formed. See the reaction. Potassium phenoxide with react with carbon dioxide when temperature is carried out 200 to 30 degrees centigrade. When sodium phenoxide is used, then the temperature should be was 120 to 140 degrees centigrade, where the pressure is 4 to 7 atm. Here pressure is 6 atm, and we get the potassium parahydroxy benzoate And after hydrolyzing, but after acidifying the product, we get the para hydroxybenzoic acid. The important facts: E hydroxy benzoic acid. Clear? And the application of Kolbe-Schmitt reaction is also important. Application 1: aspirin. The synthesis of some compound. Synthesis of some compounds. At first, aspirin or aspirin is a drug. It is a drug. It is a drug. It is a it is a analgesic. Yes, it is a analgesic, antipyretic, antipyretic. It is analgesic antipyretic drug as it has a anticoagulant. What is mean the anticoagulant property? তঞ্চন বাংলায় যাকে বলে। It has anticoagulant property, and it is used, and it is also used, and it is also used for heart disease treatment. For heart diseases treatment. Heart diseases treatment. From salicylic acid. Aspirin made from salicylic acid. From salicylic acid. What is the structure of salicylic acid? You know, orthohydroxybenzoic acid. When orthohydroxybenzoic acid reacts with acetic anhydride in presence of concentrated H2SO, few drops concentrated H2SO for few drops. Thus, we get the product. This one acetic acid, and we get the product. This is the phenolic OH group, acidic hydrogen group reactions. O CO CH3 COH and acetic acid as a byproduct. This name aspirin. This name is aspirin. The first synthesis of aspirin from the salicylic acid, which is also produced from the phenol by a Kolbe and Smith. This is reaction is known as Kolbe-Schmitt reaction. This application, several application of the Kolbe-Schmitt reaction is depicted below as a with the synthesis of aspirin, synthesis of oil of intergreen, synthesis of Salol, and we move down the oil preparation of synthesis of. And next point, application 2. Application 2: synthesis of oil of wintergreen. Synthesis of oil of wintergreen. synthesis of oil of wintergreen, or is also a IUPAC name methyl salicylate. Methyl salicylate. When salicylic acid it is used for perfume perfume used used for perfumery. When salicylic acid is react with salicylic acid when salicylic is react with methanol in presence of concentrated H2SO4 and with reflex concentrated H2SO4 with reflex, we get the product, or we get the product. This is not named methyl salicylate. Methyl salicylate or oil of wintergreen. And next, with the synthesis of this is the reaction of this is the reaction of acidic hydrogen of H plus of carboxylic acid group in salicylic acid. And in the second step, and the last application is synthesis of oil of, winter is Salol. Synthesis of Salol or phenyl salicylate. Salicylate. When this is also the reaction of acidic hydrogen of carboxylic group in the salicylic acid. When the salicylic acid reaction with phenol, phenol in presence of POCl3, and we get the product. This also known phenyl salicylate or Salol. Phenyl salicylate or Salol. It is used for internal antiseptic. Internal antiseptic. This is the Kolbe-Schmitt reaction, and it's with along with these applications. And this is very important for the competitive exam, also and the our West Bengal board, and the also and equivalent others equivalent exams. Thank you. And there is the slide today topic. There the chemical reaction of phenol, like alcohol, phenol take place some several reaction due to the presence of OH group, and also phenol act as a weak nucleophile. The reaction of phenol is due to the fact that the phenolic OH and on the basis of the chemical behavior of the phenols, the chemical reaction of phenol are classified by the following ways: reaction of phenolic OH, reaction of benzene ring of phenol, some specific reaction, and uh, our today topic is reaction of benzene ring in phenol. And the reaction in benzene ring in phenol involves some several reaction like Kolbe-Schmitt reaction, Riemann-Tiemann reaction, Gettermann reaction, Lederer-Manners reaction, and the reaction with phthalic anhydride. And also the benzene ring in the phenol is halogenation, nitration, feed alkylation, acylation, and the coupling reaction of phenol when phenol react with diazinon salt is called coupling reaction. And the today's the hot topic is Kolbe-Schmitt reaction and its applications. Kolbe-Schmitt reaction, when a carbon dioxide passes through a sodium phenate and 4 to 7 atm pressure and the temperature 120 to 140 degrees centigrade to produce the salicylic acid. And the general reaction is phenol, when phenol treated with sodium hydroxide to produce the sodium phenate or sodium phenoxide. When sodium phenoxide also passes through a carbon dioxide at temperature 120 to 140 degrees centigrade temperature and the 4 to 7 atm pressure, then we get the sodium salicylate. And when acidifying the sodium salicylate, we get the salicylic acid. And the mechanism of this Kolbe-Schmitt reaction is depicted below. And there is also several fact is a COH group is directly added by this reaction. In this is important for the Kolbe-Schmitt reaction. Here the phenoxide is used instead of the phenol. This is due to fact that phenoxide is more reactive than the phenol. That is why phenoxide is used in Kolbe-Schmitt reaction as a reactant. And next point, when the same reaction is carried out with the potassium phenate instead of sodium phenoxide, we get the para-hydroxybenzoic acid instead of ortho-hydroxybenzoic acid or the salicylic acid. And the some application of the phenol is synthesis of aspirin. And when the salicylic acid, this salicylic acid treated with acetic anhydride in presence of few drops of concentrated we get the aspirin. And it is a analgesic antibiotic and it has an anticoagulant property. It is also used for the heart disease or for treatment. And application number two, we the synthesis of the oil of winter good, the methyl salicylate used for perfumery. And when the salicylic acid treated with the methanol in presence of concentrated we get the methyl salicylate or the oil of wintergreen. And the application three, the synthesis of Salol or phenyl salicylate. When the salicylic acid treated with the phenol and we get the phenyl salicylate acid or Salol, it is used for the internal antiseptic. Thank you. Today's topic is over.